Coming up tonight, an Oswego County legislator announces his endorsement for the upcoming Fulton County mayoral election.
Syracuse jail deputies and inmates are treated for possible PCP exposure.
And France's president discusses the rebuilding process after the Notre Dame fire.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Justin Arnold.
And I'm Brianna Watson.
The fire that engulfed much of the famed Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris appears to have been accidental. According to officials, it took fire crews approximately 9 hours to extinguish the flames that threatened to destroy one of the most recognizable buildings in the world. While the spire and wooden roof were destroyed, the 2 bell towers and the front facade were saved, along with many religious artifacts.
The Interior Minister says it will take approximately 2 days to secure the structure before anyone can be allowed back in to pull more artwork and fully assess the damage. French President Emmanuel Macron vowed they would rebuild the 850-year-old church and will be launching an international fundraiser. Hundreds of millions of dollars have already been pledged from French billionaires, companies, and nations around the world. Oswego County legislator Dan Farfaglia announced his endorsement by the Independence Party for the Fulton City mayoral election this November. Farfaglia is the only Democrat in Oswego County to earn the Independence Party support this year. He's also had the support of the Working Families Party to his candidacy. Farfaglia attributes his endorsement to his deep roots in the Fulton community, with multiple generations of family who lived and worked in the city of Fulton.
An effort to rebuild public infrastructure along the Lake Ontario shoreline leaves the city of Oswego to expect millions in disaster recovery funds. Issued by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, it will repair damage caused by historic flooding and high water levels nearly 3 years ago. According to Mayor Billy Barlow, the city is expecting approximately $5 million to repair and strengthen damaged property, including Wrights Landing Marina and Brightbeck Park. Barlow says the areas must be restored at the understanding that high water is likely to occur in the future.
Rural New York Democrats gathered in Liverpool for the Democratic Rural Convention this past weekend to celebrate the influx of progressive legislation. Although Democrats hold a majority in all levels of state government, Oswego County Democrats are feeling left out when it comes to representation in Albany. Locals say they have mixed feelings about how the county has fared since legislation term began in January. Oswego County Democratic Committee Secretary Judy Prosser says a cohesive strategy by rural counties for better representation with events like the DRC as a means of communications with state leaders.
Storm Team 10 meteorologist Jessica Metzner is live outside of the Murano campus. Jess, how are we looking?
I'm standing out here and the temperatures are pretty chilly, somewhere between 40 and 50 degrees. That's seasonal for this time of the year, but the winds are somewhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour, which is providing some wind chill. Overall tonight, clear skies, not too many clouds, very decent night. If you do plan on going out, I recommend some sort of jacket. But I'll talk about more about what's coming to our way. Back to you guys.
Thanks a ton, Jess. April 29th marks SUNY Oswego's 4th annual Yards for Yardley event. Our Grace Parenti shares Yardley love story and raises awareness for domestic violence. So, Grace, what did you learn at the event?
I got to sit down with Title IX coordinator Lisa Evaninsky and learned why Yards for Yardley is such an important event. Let's take a look.
The annual event, Yards for Yardley, is taking place April 29th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Title IX coordinator Lisa Evaninsky talks with me about the event's history and its significance.
In 2010, Yardley Love was about to graduate from college and she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend. Her family realized quickly after that her death was preventable, that there were signs that either Yardley saw or that her family and friends saw. And so they started the One Love Foundation.
SUNY Oswego has participated in this event since 2016.
We were the first school in New York to complete 1 million yards in one day. And we were the first SUNY to do Yards for Yardley. So that was kind of fun for us too.
Junior Julia Lamb voiced her opinion about the overall event.
I think this is a great opportunity to raise awareness for this type of subject, and I think maybe the school could do another event during the year to also raise awareness.
The event raises awareness for domestic and dating violence. Title IX coordinator Lisa Evaninsky explains the overall message.
We say in our registration, we walk to remember, we walk to prevent. We walk to remember those who have lost their lives or who have even been seriously hurt as a result of dating or domestic violence. But we also walk to prevent. People will learn signs of unhealthy and healthy relationships. They'll learn resources that are on and off campus. And it's a really positive event.
Don't be afraid to get involved in Yards for Yardley. You can go to Laker Life and pre-register now.
When Tucson Fire paramedic Carrie Clark returned from maternity leave.
For more information, you can go to Yards for Yardley on Laker Life or follow It's on Oz on all social medias.
6 deputies and 1 inmate at the Onondaga County Justice Center are being treated for possible PCP exposure after an inmate released a white powdery substance which became airborne, according to deputies. Firefighters were called at approximately 2 p.m. for a hazardous material call. PCP is a hallucinogen used heavily in the 1970s that's use has declined significantly, though there are hints of a 21st century resurgence.
A Herkimer County DMV worker is being charged with more than 24 felony charges, including grand larceny and falsifying business records. According to Herkimer County DA Jeff Carpenter, the man identified as 48-year-old John Abdo allegedly charged office patrons DMV transactions involving seasonal vehicles like boats, then logging a lesser amount and keeping the proceeds. In addition to working for the county, Carpenter is also the president of the Adirondack Central School District Board of Education.
The man who murdered 2 of his former co-workers at a Chili's restaurant in DeWitt has been sentenced to life in prison without parole. 33-year-old William Wood Jr. pled guilty to the September 15th murder of Christopher Hicks and Stephen Goodnick in a robbery attempt. Wood Jr. also admitted to attempting to kill another employee who survived. Onondaga County DA Bill Fitzpatrick says Wood killed Goodnick even though he complied with every request Wood made during the robbery. Wood Jr. faces the possibility of the death penalty. Coming up later tonight, the suspect involved with the Louisiana church fires is facing more charges.
And actress Felicity Huffman could be facing jail time for her involvement in the college admissions scandal.
This is WTOP 10 Nightly News. We'll be right back.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Oh my god, so you'll never believe what happened to Khloe Kardashian this week.
Oh my god, what happened? Tell me.
Okay, so she was at the mall, shopping at Saks.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Hey, we're practicing for our new show, What's the Tea? Starring me.
And me.
Hey, Brianna, when does it air?
Every other Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Anyway, I can't wait for you to sip some tea with us.
Only on WTOP.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back. You're watching WT Nightly News. My name is meteorologist Jess Metzer, and our temperatures right now are pretty seasonal, somewhere between 40 and 50 degrees. But I was standing outside just moments ago, and my hands are still cold, and I came in about 1 minute ago. Our winds are somewhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour, which is giving us a little bit of wind chill, and which is probably why I was so cold. If you do go on outside tonight, I would recommend some sort of jacket, please. It's not short sleeve weather yet. Sky-wise, just a few clouds. I do see a couple of scattered showers that may or may not come our way, but if they do come our way, they should just come on and pass by, just a sprinkle or two. Just to see what's going on for Wednesday. Wednesday should be relatively clear, just a few clouds, mostly sunny for the morning commute, and it will continue to clear up. Temperatures should be around 50 degrees. Very open skies as we go into Wednesday afternoon. And if we go on to Wednesday evening, we can see some more clouds thickening up and a few showers coming up from the west. These showers are expected to come to early Thursday morning over our area, but they should pass by as we go on to Thursday morning and be completely gone as we go into Thursday afternoon. Now, the reason why I showed you all of that is because for your yard work forecast, if you do plan on doing some, I would recommend you do it somewhere between 1 and 3 in the afternoon for Wednesday, because that's when the sky's going to be the clearest, temperature's going to be the warmest, and the ground's going to be dry. But if you do plan on doing it on Thursday, it's going to be questionable. I would recommend doing it in the morning and the midday because we are expected to have some more showers Thursday evening. But if you do feel ambitious, the morning is the way to go. Just a recap of tonight. Mostly clear skies, 38 degrees, winds from the west at 0 to 5 miles per hour, a relatively decent night. And for tomorrow, a beautiful sunny day, partly cloudy skies, 48 degrees, and just some gentle winds from the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. They say that April showers bring May flowers. I really hope those flowers come because Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have plenty of showers coming our way. Easter Sunday, we are expected to have a little bit of clouds, but Monday, they should be clearing up. You're watching WTOP Nightly News. Coming up next, we have more news and sports.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
Hi, I'm Zachary Haynes. I'm the new host and producer of the new comedy sketch show, Acting Out, a comedy sketch show by college students for college students. You can check us out here on WTOP every other Sunday this semester on B weekends. Okay, I guess B weekends are down here now in the bottom left corner of your screen. Anyways, we got all sorts of great sketch. Okay, guys, what's going on with the set? What's going?
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. First, I took them to feel better. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. Louisiana man suspected of setting 3 churches on fire is seeing 3 counts of hate crime added on to his existing 3 counts of arson. 21-year-old Holden Matthews pleaded not guilty to all charges and has since been denied bond. The suspect's father, a local sheriff's deputy, broke down when he was informed of his son's alleged involvement. Matthews has had a history of anti-Baptist beliefs, according to his Facebook account.
In Arizona, the city of Tucson has been ordered to pay a paramedic nearly $4 million after a jury agrees she faced retaliation after complaining that the city failed to provide a private place for her to pump breast milk. Aaliyah Shahid reports.
When Tucson fire paramedic Carrie Clark returned from maternity leave in 2012, she asked for a private place to pump her breast milk.
The law requires that employers are required to provide a space free from intrusion from coworkers and the public to express your breast milk. That wasn't made immediately available to her.
Jacobson says at the time of Clark's complaint, an investigation found more than 40% of Tucson fire stations were not compliant with the law.
Subsequent to that is when the city of Tucson actually brought all of its fire stations into compliance. After she complained, though, is when the hammer of retribution really started coming down on her.
This month, a jury ordered the city pay Clark $3.8 million in damages for all of her claims, including retaliation and violations of the Fair Labor Standards Act.
This case was not about the hardworking men and women of Tucson Fire. They are heroes. This case was always about, however, some poor decisions that were made along the way by Tucson Fire administration. Carrie is just looking forward to getting back to work, serving the citizens of Tucson.
A spokesperson with the city of Tucson says they will not comment on the jury verdict, but the city attorney is preparing post-trial motions to file with the court and is evaluating the city's position to appeal. Aaliyah Shahid, News 4 Tucson.
According to Jefferson, the case is a victory for working mothers. City officials declined to comment on the verdict, but says the city is considering its appeal options.
Louisiana man has been arrested on 100 accounts of first-degree rape of children in his hometown of Pineville. 71-year-old Harvey Johnson Fountain was arrested on April 9th after an accuser informed local police of Fountain's abuse when he was a child. According to local sheriff's office, all alleged rapes occurred throughout the 70s, and all victims were under the age of 13. Fountain's bail is set at $1 million, and a grand jury is expected to take the case.
Prosecutors plan to seek a sentence of 4 to 10 months jail time for actress Felicity Huffman for her role in the college admissions scandal. Huffman, along with 13 other parents, pled guilty last week to a charge of conspiracy to commit fraud. According to a plea agreement, prosecutors are not planning to bring further charges. The plea agreement also states prosecutors were going to recommend a $20,000 fine and 12 months supervised release. Huffman is expected back in court May 21st.
138 Bahrainians accused of terrorism have had their citizenship revoked in a mass trial. The defendants were suspected of forming a terrorist group with the goal of targeting oil infrastructures and other important locations throughout the country. 69 of the suspects have been sentenced to life in prison by the High Criminal Court, while the remaining suspects received anywhere from 5 to 10 years in prison. Amnesty International, a human rights group, called the trial unfair and a, quote, mockery of justice.
Health officials in Michigan say they have traced an outbreak of measles there to the continuing measles outbreak in New York. Meanwhile, New York officials are continuing to try to stop the spread of the disease. Kristen Holmes has the very latest.
The measles outbreak in New York spreading across the country. Michigan health officials linking an outbreak there back to the Empire State, where officials continue to try and stem the ongoing public health emergency.
I have the authority from the State Commissioner of Health to exclude those children who are not up to date on their immunizations.
The New York outbreak started in October, and while the measles was considered eliminated in the U.S. in 2000, the number of cases has risen in recent years, jumping this year to the second highest level in a quarter of a century. Worldwide, cases are up 300%. Some experts blaming the anti-vaccination movement.
It's completely avoidable. That's the frustrating aspect about it. It's completely avoidable.
Today, New York's Rockland County forcing anyone with measles to stay home for up to 21 days and requiring children have proof of vaccination, immunity, or an exemption form on file at schools and childcare facilities.
Newborns, pregnant individuals, and those with weakened immune systems can't get vaccinated, so it's important that everyone around them become vaccinated to protect them.
Last week, New York City's mayor declaring a public health emergency, requiring vaccinations for people living in specific zip codes.
You have an obligation not only to protect your own child, but to also protect the community by getting vaccinated.
5 mothers in New York are now filing a lawsuit against the city for the mandate. I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
According to CNN, more than 500 cases of measles have been reported in New York. As part of the outbreak, 332 of them since January, and more than 40 new cases identified in the past week.
Brown canine was found 130 miles off the coast of Thailand by oil rig workers. Oil rig worker Vitisak Payala says he spotted the dog trying to swim to the rig, but was constantly slipping. Payala eventually was able to help the dog and named him Boonrod, which means survivor. Boonrod is an aspen, which is a breed native to the Philippines and has been taken in by the charity Watchdog Thailand and was then transferred to an animal clinic. Payala says on his Facebook page that if no one claims Boonrod, then he would be happy to adopt. Coming up in sports, Aaron Valentino.
Hey Aaron, can you give us a quick preview?
After the break, I'll tell you the latest on the Islanders and highlights from Game 2 of the Nets versus 76ers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
I tried Oxy at a couple of parties. I thought I had it under control. I didn't know it'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Aaron Valentino with your sports update. With only 3 conference games left on the season, the Oswego State women's lacrosse team looks to make a final push for the SUNYAC playoffs starting tomorrow against Buffalo State. After Buffalo, the Lakers will take on Oneonta College Saturday at Laker Turf, and their final game will come against New Paltz on April 27th. The Lakers are currently 6-4 and 3-3 in conference play, just 1 game behind New Paltz, who currently holds the final SUNYAC spot. Moving over to baseball, the Oswego State Lakers swept a doubleheader today over Alfred State. The Lakers took the first game by a score of 9-4, and Mike Delicari had 3 RBIs in the victory, while pitcher Jake Jacobs went 4 1/3 innings, letting up 0 earned runs. In the second game, the Lakers won by a score of 8-2, with Ryan Enos driving in 4 of those runs. And the Lakers are back in action this Friday against the Cortland Red Dragons. Sticking with baseball, last night the New York Mets took on the division rival Philadelphia Phillies in their first meeting of the season. The Mets won this one by a score of 7-6 in 11 innings. With the Phillies down by 1 in the 8th, Mets pitcher Robert Gazelman walked in the tying run, but in the 11th, Michael Conforto hit a ball that tipped off of Phillies first baseman Rhys Hoskins' glove, and Juan Lagares came around to score, and the Mets took the lead and held on to win. These two teams square off again tonight in their second matchup of a 3-game set. Moving over to the ice, the New York Islanders look to sweep the Pittsburgh Penguins in tonight's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs in Pittsburgh. The Islanders took the first of 3 games by a score of 4-3, 3-1, and 4-1. This could be the Islanders' first playoff series win since 2016, when they were able to beat the Florida Panthers in 6 games. Now let's get to some highlights. NBA playoffs. Ben Simmons and the Nets. Ben Simmons and the Sixers taking on the Nets. Ben Simmons early on going up against Nets center Jarrett Allen to get the bucket, and the Sixers, they're going to take an early lead. The Nets, they're not going to go down fighting, however, as Spencer Dinwiddie throws it across the court to D'Angelo Russell, and the Nets, they're not going to quit. They won Game 1. They want Game 2. Now, here's Ben Simmons. He stands at the top of the key. He's going to drive in. Oh, but never mind. J.J. Redick for 3. That's what he does constantly over and over again. Here's D'Angelo Russell now, top of the key. He shoots over Ben Simmons for 3, and he's got it. The Nets just don't have fight left in them. Now it's Jimmy Butler to Joel Embiid, and this is an interesting play here. He drives in and elbows Jarrett Allen. That would actually be a flagrant 1, but later Embiid in the game, he falls down and makes the bucket. Later, J.J. Redick now over Joe Harris for the bucket. He makes it. The Philadelphia 76ers pouring it on. A 3 there by Tobias Harris. And the Sixers, they go on to win that one 145-123, a 51-point third quarter. And they tie the series at 1. Their next game is Thursday. Some big news, though. NHL playoffs, like I mentioned before. Islanders are taking on the Penguins in Game 4. It's 2-1 Islanders in the third. If they win this game, they move on to the next round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I can't wait to see the next match, honestly. I don't know. Just watching, it's a really good sport to watch.
Yeah, no. The Islanders, they're just so young this year. They've played great defense the entire series. They've held Sidney Crosby to pretty much nothing. They're just so much fun to watch. Glad to see the New York team getting out there and winning a playoff series.
Can't wait to see where we go with that. So, yeah.
Well, that's enough sports because, I never know anything about sports. But Jessica, please, can we have a nice, beautiful Easter weekend? Please tell me.
Maybe. No. Unfortunately, Friday and Saturday looks like we will have a little bit of rain, but Sunday it looks like the rain will let up and we'll just have some showers in the morning. Monday we'll have some sunshine, and Tuesday we may get some more rain, but the week itself looks like it's going to be relatively warmer than it normally is for this time of year, so it's really, really questionable right now.
Oh, man, I wanted a definite answer. I want a beautiful Easter weekend. It's not the same. Well, I guess that's it for our report, guys. Stay tuned for our next OP. Excuse me, what?
Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
It's back and better than ever. One student can win up to $25 in cash. All on Oswego's favorite game show, San Diego.